Okay, these are the motions that we're talking about for the Star Wars pop-up book. So, okay, I'm sorry.
So anyway, so I made my own version of what I thought a Star Wars pop-up book would be. And what was great is on the day that they came to school, I was so bummed out because all the other cool kids were getting Star Wars pop-up books. So I had my head, I don't know about you guys, but we had desks where you could open them up.
Yes.
And
Oh,
you could,
yeah,
I remember those.
absolutely.
So I had this desk open, and I was looking at my Star Wars pop-up book that I made because I was all bummed out. So I was kind of like blocking out sound and stuff. And the teacher was calling my name, and finally she's like, Matt Busch, get your buns up here, you know. Back when teachers could say that. And then, so anyway, so I go up there, and she gives me a real Star Wars pop-up book. And I say, there must be a mistake. You know, I didn't get one. She's like, no, you're on the list. You got one. My mom was so blown away with the Star Wars pop-up book that I made that she actually went ahead and she got me the real thing. So what was great about it was like my first real I guess lesson in life, you know, if you believe you can achieve, you know, kind of thing, or put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So that was from there, you know, history.
That's where your history started as far as drawing all the illustrations that you do now.
Kind of, yeah, that's where it began.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And so when did you actually start doing it as a living?
Gosh, I moved to Los Angeles when I was 21 years old, and I think less than a year later I was working on my first official Star Wars book.
Let me go back a little bit. When did you know that you can actually make a living doing that?
I didn't, and I was really scared. I was nervous.
Because I know that growing up, I didn't know that I had options.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was like, be a secretary. You know, it's like, just have a safe job. I mean, I didn't know that I can actually pursue something that I was interested in creatively.
Right.
So.
And you know what's so funny is I used to make a joke about that. That my mother gave me two choices growing up: take it or leave it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I you know what's so funny, and I'm going to ask you this real quick. You had gone to L.A. and we're from the East Coast. We're from the New York, New Jersey, tri-state area. And again, I can walk down the streets in New York and be so influenced by so many different things all day long. Did you find that influence was very far and few between being in L.A.? Especially as an artist?
I think so. I think there's definitely, well, it's beautiful out there, but I think a lot of people that grew up out there, they definitely take it for granted. And you find that a lot of the talent in Hollywood are not people that are from L.A., but from everyone else that are inspired enough, you know, to go out there and make it happen, you know?
No, absolutely. And again, I like it because I create my own world inside Los Angeles. You know, I kind of made Los Angeles my own New Jersey.
Right.
You know, and I don't wait for the phone to ring, and I don't, you know, wait to get auditions, and I don't wait to do any of that stuff, you know. And again, I really like Star Wars. I really like the fact that. Have you been to Skywalker Ranch?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I've never been there.
What's it like?
Yeah, what's it like, man?
Give us
Tell me. I really want to
know.
Give me an inside
scoop.
Well, what's really neat is when you go in the bathroom, it's actually the toilet lid is shaped like R2-D2's head, and it flips. No, I'm just kidding. It's beautiful.
You can electrocute playing around like that. You know?
Yeah, I know. It's a huge Victorian mansion. It's got this library that's made out of walnut wood and stuff. It's just it's breathtaking.
Wanting to know who it is.
You know what? I love that song, and I play it as a trivia thing. As if and again, we were doing a giveaway for UFC tickets at the time when I first played that song. What I'm going to do is, as I got one of the biggest fans, one of my favorite artists, Matt Busch, back on the show today to do the follow-up for his interview. If you can tell me who sang that song, I'll give you a free T-shirt from Styling Online.
I can, because I actually just saw it on your computer. I know who it is now. From the voice, I can recognize. But you know, it's funny. I would swear that the guitar playing was Zakk Wylde.
It is.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't know he was in Rockstar? Yeah, that was Zakk Wylde. Zakk Wylde played for Steel Dragon.
Really?
Yes, and that was Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, that was Mark.
Oh, so you didn't know who it was.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Actually, I had two
That's
guesses
Marky
this
Mark.
morning. Yeah.
No.
That's Marky Mark.
That's really him singing?
Yeah.
Some of it.
Probably is.
Well, no, a lot of it got dubbed in, but a lot of the other stuff was him. So, yeah, no, it was actually, I forgot the guy's name, but no, Mark Wahlberg laid it down, but I guess on the soundtrack album, it's the Spanish kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's Mark Wahlberg. For the most part, that's Marky Mark.
No way.
Without the Funky Bunch, with Zach Wilde.
Yeah, what a great song.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
I'm still going to let you pick out a T-shirt today.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
any T-shirt you want.
Wow.
Yeah, but you got to take a picture of it. You know, we got to do the picture thing.
Yeah.
So we had a bunch of questions and we got jammed up with you, and I'm so glad that you're back, man.
Very glad.
Yeah, I didn't bring my thing this morning for you to sign. I did bring it.
Oh, I have mine.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But you can sign hers. Yeah. I love it. We had a couple questions for you, and again, we want to talk to you about maybe commissioning you to do some. We're working on our website. We do have a website, RetroRadioLive.com, and it goes to the Styling Online as a link.
Yeah.
But we're designing our own website.
Right.
We would love to commission you to do something for her and I.
would love to do something.
And what we would actually do with the picture, we would use it as the forefront picture for the website.
Yeah.
But when they click on the actual picture itself, it takes us to your website.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Are you down with that?
He thinks of things that I don't know about.
Right.
It just comes on the spot.
But I think that's great.
Yeah.
I love your work, and again,
to.
yeah, absolutely. So how do you want to?
Well, we hinted about a bunch of things the other day.
Yeah.
But what I really wanted to get your take on is someone who has some artistic talents.
Mm-hmm.
How do they go about getting to where you are if they want to do something with it and make a living off of it?
Mm-hmm. The biggest secret is really going to conventions like this. There's so many different aspects of, first of all, meeting other artists to see what they're doing, but also showing your portfolio and getting tips on improvement, but also talking to publishers, talking to small press publishers, talking to some of the bigger guns in comic books, publishers of books, magazines. When you go to places like Comic-Con, you'll find video game companies there, movie companies that are looking for pre-viz kind of conceptual artwork and stuff.
Right.
And just going to places like that, networking, and getting your business cards out there, or getting business cards, sending samples.
Right.
And usually, especially at big places like Comic-Con, there's huge workshops and panels where industry experts are giving you tips on what to do and where to go in industry trends, and there's always something going on.
Wow.
And, tips for writers. It's just definitely coming to shows like this or conventions like this. It's where it's at.
And you by going to the conventions, you're talking about the people who pay to get in and meet the people.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, and just get to talking to one of the artists at the table. It's like, hey, listen, it's like, I'm an artist as well. It's like, what kind of information can you give me and share with me and kind of thing like that?
Yeah, and that's that's how I started. I was the one carrying the portfolio and the little geeky kid that was a fanboy, but hitting up the conventions. And
at what age?
Oh gosh, as soon as I was old enough to, really, teenager for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what? I had actually told Johnny Brennan from the Jerky Boys that, because we were actually asked to do the Big Apple convention, all five of us again.
Okay.
And one of the things was that he's always looking for outside projects. We actually just did he just did an app for the iPhone for the Jerky Boys, which I thought was really cool. Mm-hmm. But I said, you know what? Especially when you're hard to get hold of, in a typical A market, if most people don't know how to get hold of you or don't have IMDb Pro or whatever, it makes it you make yourself unapproachable. When people know you're going to be at these things, you're going to get hit. 9 out of 10 of the things you get hit with are going to be like crazy nonsense you're not going to bother with. But it's that 10th thing, that could open up another door for you, And again, if you don't take risks, you don't take chances with your career, you get stuck in what do I do next kind of phase. So coming to these things, lets you see what kind of stuff's out there. Lets you actually pick and choose who instead of you trying to chase down, you're being chased.
Lets you know your potential as well of what you could possibly do. Because I think a lot of creative people don't realize the potential of what they can accomplish with what they have creatively to offer. I know for myself, growing up, I didn't know that I had other options besides being a secretary, is what my mother always said.
Right.
So, how did you actually get started with doing the Star Wars and all that?
Well, it was funny. I actually I found an opportunity. I heard about an opportunity for the Star Wars book that had they were actually looking for writers, and I actually sent a submission to write first, just because I would do anything with Star Wars, and I was interested in writing too, among other creative pursuits. and they didn't like my writing at all, but I also sent in artwork, and they were really impressed with the artwork, which in a roundabout way is what I wanted to do anyway. And then it was just a story of, you hear, if something pans out, we'll give you a call. I figured I'd never hear from them again.
Right.
And then it turned out that the very next day, they actually contacted me. One of their artists flaked out. I was in the right place at the right time.
And where were you living in LA at that time?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Were you living in LA at that time?
I was.
There's a lot of flakes in LA, so
right.
you can count on those people to actually get a job in some way.
Yep.